here at the Mediterranean Dog Challenge 2017 in Thessaloniki, Greece. We organized it as the Drive Unlimited Canine Sports team. We have with us the agility judge, Christian Gerl from Germany. Hello.
Hello.
We're really glad you are with us. Christian has already judged the for agility competitions and one jumping, and today it's the last day of the whole event, and he will judge one agility tunnel cup. How do you feel?
I feel good, but at the moment a little bit tired. It was very exhausting the last days because the sun, the weather and everything was really hard.
Okay.
But I enjoyed really much. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward for the tunnel cup.
For the tunnel cup.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about yourself something. How old are you? How did you start it in agility?
I'm 39 years old, and I started with agility when I was 20 years old. And yes, since this time I'm doing this great dog sport, and since 6 years I've been an agility judge, and since 2 years FC judge. And yes, now I'm here.
So, do you still competing with your dogs?
Yes, I'm still competing. I've got 2 dogs. Older one, he's 5 years at the moment, and I competed with him at A3. And I've got a younger one. He's around about 9 months at the moment, and we started the training a couple of weeks ago.
He's a youngster. Right?
He's a youngster.
Okay.
Yes.
And what kind of breeds they are?
Border collies.
Border collies, both.
Yes.
So, since the first time you got into agility, it was with a border collie?
Yes. My first dog was a border collie too, but I'm not getting just for agility. If I get this dog, I don't know nothing about agility. I don't know agility exists. You know, I just like this breed. This extremely will to please they have, and this good work they show. Yes, that impressed me really much, and so I think about to own one. You know, and
so you got your first one at the age of 20, or?
I was, I think, 18, 19 years old when I got my first own dog. You know,
Okay.
and yes, this was my first border collie, and after 2 or 3 years, I know something about agility, and I was fascinated for the first moment of this dog sport, and so this journey begins.
And in Germany, this is your profession, or what you do for living?
For living, I'm an engineer. I'm a train driver at a big German company, and normally I would like to say it's my hobby, but if you do this for a long time like I do, I would like to say it's more than a hobby. I think it's a way to life.
Way of life.
Yes.
And would you imagine that you could live only with agility? I mean, you are making your living with that sport.
Oh no, I think it's very difficult because you have to do this sport on a really high level to live
from that.
Yeah, from that. You know what I mean? And I think as a competitor, I'm not good enough to, and also maybe as a trainer to show the things you need to get to the top. You know?
Okay. And what do you think agility is? I mean, what is the soul and the idea of agility, or what should be?
It's a very nice question. Okay. If you look at the rules, they say agility is you can read it like this, that it's some kind of obedience competition, you know. But for me, it's just more. It's to see the speed and the passion of the dogs at the course, and you see the agility they have if they do really close reps or something. As if you see a dog with very good running contacts or something, or he does the weave really fast. It's really nice to see, and it's amazing. Every time I see it, it's really amazing for me.
So back in your country, do you have your own club, or you train in another club, or how you manage it?
I train in another club. I'm a member of this club too, and yes, it's really nice to train with other people, you know, and to talk about the dogs and the dog sports and these things.
What would you say about Germany's agility level? You have a lot of competitors there.
Yes, if you look at the last World Championships, at the last FCI World Championship, it was, I would like to say it was the ones for the German, you know, we beat up there very well, very good results at every class, and I think it's because we've got a lot of handlers in Germany with a lot of knowledge, you know, and with a lot of passion to find new things for training your dog, and you, for example, look at the running contacts, you know, it's at the moment I don't know it for sure, but I think at the moment you have 3 or 4 good ways to train your dogs in running contacts, and for example, if you look at the way Mona Grevenstein does this, I was very impressed, because at the beginning at the training you don't have any drive or any speed at the dog. You know, if you see the first running contact sessions like this method, you think, oh my God, it never will be happens that the dog could be fast. But at the end, I think you have really good running contacts and also very fast. Yes, and that is one thing I think we have a really high level in Germany at agility at the moment. Yes, yes.
And what do you think will be the future of agility in Germany or worldwide?
I think it goes more to athletic sport. You know, the dogs will have a lot of speed at the moment. If I think back at my beginning, the speed of the dogs was exploding, you know, till now. And also the speed of the handlers. And you have to consider that you have just a few seconds to decide something at the course, and it makes it very difficult if the dog has a really high speed, you know. And I forget what I want to say.
Yeah, about the future of agility. That it will be really like an athletic.
Yes, yes. So I think it will be a really athletic sport for the future.
Like professionally athletic.
Yes, yes. The direction agility goes at the moment is absolutely to professionality. You know. So
I think this is a good way of developing the sport. I believe. Because professionally does not mean that the hobby will stop, or people having fun with it will stop. I see that in sports that we humans do, that the professional sports, they didn't destroy any idea of any sport. I think the opposite, because when you have a professional level and you have professionals competing, there are more sponsors inside. You can have better fields. You can have bigger organizations. So I think professionalism in dog sports will make a good development to the sports.
Yes, I think that too, and I agree with your opinion. But unfortunately, I have to say, a lot of people have very different opinions about set point, because a lot of people think this kind of professionality we have at the moment destroys the sport for the people who just do it for a hobby,
profit.
you know.
Okay.
It's difficult to explain because they feel a little bit no more welcome. I don't know how to say it.
I understand.
I'm really sorry, yeah,
but the thing is that when you have a sport that as the years are passing, the competitors are getting better and better and better. For being better, you need to spend much more time into that. So if you want to be really on top, you cannot have 2 jobs and train agility. It's impossible. You have to focus a lot. So if you have to focus only on agility, you have to live somehow. So I don't think that being professional is something wrong with it. And I think it's inevitable.
Yes, I think so too. And when we have discussions like that in German, I always say, for example, look at soccer, you know. Yes. I played soccer also for a long time, but I never feel bad because I'm not play at a world championship or something. You know, it's
yes. You are doing it from another motivation.
Yes, I do it because I like the sport. I have a lot of fun with it, and I meet some nice people there, and it's okay. And I think it's a good way to thinking about agility too.
And what is your opinion about the new regulations of FCI, of agility? To remove some obstacles, to change some obstacles?
If I could decide something about it, I would like to remove the flat tunnel, the collapse tunnel.
So remove it at all?
Yes, I think it's this obstacle is too difficult. And here we are at the point again with the speed of the dogs, you know. Maybe 10 or 15 years later it was okay to set up an obstacle like this at the course, but now you have dogs with really high speed, and if you set up this obstacle in the course that it is really not dangerous, it eliminates a lot of chances at the course, you know what I mean? A lot of things you can do at the course. So you can only set it up straight on, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Hurdle, flat tunnel, hurdle, and then you can maybe go other way. That's my opinion. And also it's a little bit difficult with the tire, but
don't you think it's a little bit? I agree with you with the flat tunnel, but don't you think it's a little bit dangerous thinking, removing all the time difficulties from dog sports? You know what I want to say, that you have fast dogs and you have obstacles like the pause table that they destroy the flow of the course, for example. And most of the competitions, they don't have a pause table anymore.
Yes.
Which I agree. For the spectators also, it's better to not see the pause table.
Absolutely, yes.
But still, when you have, for example, a course that is really fast, this shows some qualities of the dog. But when the dog must stop and wait, and you know, and this shows also the balance, maybe. I don't know, but I think that maybe the idea of agility is changing. This is what I want to say.
Yes, I'm agree with you. Absolutely, the idea is changing. I think it had nothing to do no more with obedience or something. Okay, you have your train your dog very well, that he don't get injured at the course, because we have to say an accident always could happen. Yes, everything
it's
you
an
do.
Athlete, so
yes, and. But I think, especially for the flat tunnel and also the table, it breaks the flow at the course, and it's not nice to see, you know.
Okay.
And
I understand. And what is your opinion about other dog sports? Have you ever been into one, or?
I've tried a little bit at Obedience for 2 years, and but at least it was a little bit boring, so I break off with this dog sport. And I tried a little bit dog frisbee, but I don't have the knowledge at this time. Now also I don't have it because, and so I break off this. And I'm thinking it's really difficult to do two kind of dog sports at a high level.
To do them both parallel.
Yes. Okay. I think it's really difficult, and so I just focused myself on agility. Yes.
Okay. So Christian, I would like really to thank you. You were really helpful and really cooperative in building up the courses and in general. For me, it's important for a judge or a competitor, not only his expertise in what he's doing, but also how his mentality is and how his character is. And for me, it's really joyful to cooperate with people like you.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you enjoyed the 3 days of Mediterranean Dog Challenge.
When I arrived at Thursday, and Dora brings me here to the field, and I get off of the car, and we meet us for the first time. It was not like we never seen us before. It was something like I was 5 minutes away to buy some cigarettes or something, you know.
Yes.
And that's always a good start for a competition like that. If there's a lot of sympathy for the first moment. And I also have to say that the organization is really good here. You know,
thank you very much.
You have to take care about nothing. You know,
yes.
I have to take care about the secretary or something. It's I just can focus my focus
on your job.
put on my job to set up the course, to judge and everything. And that's it's really helpful and really nice.
Thank you very much.
So I have to say thank you a lot for that I have come to your great competition, and I enjoyed every second I've been here in Greece.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the interview, and we will see us in the future for sure.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.